didn't like you, you would be found dead the next morning. Your wife would not talk either because she was petrified. No, this was Al Capone. I got indicted more. My parents are looking down on me right now. They're saying, oh, my son, he's such a good boy. He didn't do this shit. Man, my father would say, he doesn't do this. Think of it. I got indicted more than Alphonse Capone, the meanest Scarface. Did anybody see the movie Scarface? He was not a nice man. Even Jim Jordan would be afraid of Scarface. Everybody was afraid of Scarface, but Scarface had a different kind of a thing. They didn't go after him like they go after me, I can tell you that. We can't let this happen. This has never happened in our country before. This happens in third world countries. This happens in banana republics. We can't let it happen here. And it's going to start with Pawnee, and hopefully they're going to end the case. They're going to end the case, not get rid of her, because this thing, and this affair was going on long before the case started, so the case is totally compromised. But we don't need to get rid of her and then put somebody else in there. It's unfair to all those people that got indicted. The list goes on, and they're good people, too. They're American patriots. They were protesting a rigged election, and it should start right here. They should throw out that fake deal from Fulton County. What they should do, they should spend their time going over the votes in Fulton County. That's what they should do. But the attacks will come through various places and through the Justice Department and FBI, even if they have no evidence whatsoever, because they don't care what happens after the election. They only care what happens before, because they want to try and damage me. But here's what's happened. I'm able to explain the situation. And if I was guilty of something, you'd know it. And the polls are all saying he's not guilty. It's a witch hunt. And it is. I've gone through this witch hunt with Russia. Ukraine. I've gone through this witch hunt for so long. 51 intelligence agents talking about the laptop from hell. They said it was from Russia, but they knew it wasn't from Russia. You know that. And many other things, the Pfizer fake signatures. This is what we're dealing. We have a very corrupt country. I fired Comey. I fired a lot of bad people, but I didn't know it ran so deep. It runs deep. We're going to get rid of the rest of them. I know who most of them are, too. They raided my house in Florida, Mar-a-Lago. They raided with they had no reason to do so. They violated my Fourth Amendment constitutional rights. They can't raid your house. They're not allowed to do it. They raided it. But a thing like this has never, ever happened before. Joe Biden is out of control, but really the people out of control are the people that surround him. I saw Merrick Garland. I really thought, I was thinking about Merrick Garland because I came in and I put somebody else in there instead of him. And I was thinking about him, and he's liberal, but I thought he'd be a high-quality person. But the other day he said he doesn't want to have any voter ID. He doesn't have voter ID. And he said it with a straight face because he thinks voter ID is discriminatory. He said this, you need voter ID. You need identification for almost everything you do. But no, in the Democrat National Convention, the last one, you had cards, identification cards that were bigger than a person's chest, a normal person, not a very big person, but a normal person like this. It had pictures from different angles. It had everything. It had everything. Probably didn't have your Social Security number, but that was about it. And they had identification. It was voter identification. In that case, it was party identification. You had identification cards all over people. But when it comes to vote, the most important thing we do is vote. When it comes to vote, no voter ID. I don't think we're going to stand for that. But Merrick Garland said that, and he said it with a straight face. We don't want voter ID because that's discriminatory. No.
We hope you enjoyed the recent clip from Fox 5 Atlanta. We're excited to dive into our thoughts on the topic, and we'd love for you to join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to show your support by hitting the like button. And if you're looking for more content like this, be sure to follow us and subscribe to our channel. Donald Trump's recent campaign stop in Georgia, as covered by Fox 5 News, was much more than a typical political rally. It was a testament to the political battleground that our country has become. Trump's comments at the rally resonated deeply with many conservative Republicans who see this moment as critical for the future of our nation. The former president's claim of being more unfairly treated than Al Capone may seem like a colorful hyperbole to some, but it underscores a feeling amongst his supporters that he has been subjected to unprecedented scrutiny and legal challenges. Watching Trump speak, one can't help but feel the echoes of a bygone era of American politics, when party differences were less about character assaults and more about policy disagreements. His comparison of his experience to Scarface and Al Capone's indictment serves to dramatize the perception that current political tactics are more about personal destruction than governance. Despite the spirited analogies, his underlying message is clear. Political weaponization of the legal system is something that resonates strongly with his base, who see him as a champion against what they perceive as a systemic bias. Trump argues that targeting him becomes a conduit for undermining the very principles of American democracy. His claims about Fulton County and the call for scrutiny over the election results strike a chord with those convinced that the 2020 election was compromised. The demand for thorough investigation into the votes cast in Fulton County is not just about one county in Georgia. It's symbolic of a nationwide concern for electoral integrity amongst Trump's supporters. Moreover, Trump's assertion that the scale of indictments against his allies equates to an attack on American patriots is a powerful message that resonates with the notion that the current political climate criminalizes political dissent. To conservatives who align with Trump, the narrative of a rigged election isn't merely about Trump, it's about the representation of their voice in the political process. The continued theme of the witch hunt against him, which began with the Russian interference investigation, holds significant weight within conservative circles. Trump's ability to convey his narrative that he's been consistently targeted by partisan actors within the government reinforces his position as an outsider facing off against an entrenched political establishment, which is appealing to many of his supporters. In Trump's words and actions, his supporters see a persistent effort to ensure the survival of conservative values in the face of what they view as a relentless onslaught by the left. The implication that these legal challenges are timed to politically damage him rather than born out of genuine concern for justice is a notion that finds sympathetic ears across Republican audiences. The prevailing belief is that Trump's willingness to fight this perceived bias head-on only strengthens his appeal and cements his role as a defender of a conservative vision for America's future.